On paper, the TIVIQUE LX15 looks like a solid budget laptop. It comes with a Ryzen 4300U processor, 16GB of RAM and 512GB of internal storage. Not bad considering you can usually pick it up for less than £300, and it comes with a 15.6-inch OLED display that runs at 60Hz. But for some reason I could just not get this laptop running as expected. That was until I decided to run Linux. The LX15 is clearly a budget laptop, but it's surprisingly well made for something at this price point. The 1920 by 1080 display gives it a lot of room for multitasking, and it's the perfect aspect ratio for watching YouTube videos. Sure, you have to deal with the typical budget laptop annoyances, like stickers which are glued far too securely to the laptop, and it is quite wobbly as well, especially if you're typing furiously on your desk or trying to work on a lap. You definitely won't be able to open the lid one-handed. But this thing is generally well built. It has a 5000 mAh battery that lasts a couple of days without needing a charge. It feels very sturdy and spacious, and it even comes with some nice little quirks, like a little silicone mat that you can put over your keyboard to just make it feel a bit softer and reduce the noise. The main keyboard itself is a bit clacky, but it's responsive enough. I didn't have any issues when typing, apart from the fact that I just can't calibrate to the keys being off-center thanks to the numpad. It also has a decent array of ports, including a microSD card slot, which could come in handy if you want to run emulation on this device. But this is where you run into the real issue that's holding this laptop back: its performance. I've reviewed many PCs by TIVIQUE's sister company Nipoji in the past and always been impressed by their budget offerings, but this laptop was just incredibly slow. I recently created a website at intentionaltech.co.uk where I could learn the basics of web development using a framework called Astro. It's really not that sizable a project, but when I downloaded it onto this laptop and began trying to mess around with it in VS Code, I could get it to run in a local port on the browser, but it was incredibly slow. Likewise, general productivity stuff in Google Chrome just was not running quickly at all. In theory, you should be able to run some light games on this laptop, but that was absolutely not happening. Especially with the MacBook Neo looming large over the entire budget laptop landscape, it just didn't feel right. But that's when it hit me that because this laptop has an AMD processor, it could be a perfect candidate for testing out Linux for the first time. Now, I do run SteamOS on my gaming handhelds, but that's not really a true test of productivity using Linux, and so I wanted to give it a go. I decided to go with Fedora because it's one of the more beginner-friendly distros, and it's flexible enough to do both productivity and maybe run a couple of games. You just need to pick up a USB stick and download a free program called Berliner Etcher, and then you'll be able to flash that USB stick with the ISO, which you can then boot up onto the laptop. The whole process, including installation, took about an hour, and it's a lot more beginner friendly than it sounds. The wild thing was I instantly could tell that this had completely saved the laptop. Suddenly all of the applications I wanted to run felt snappy and responsive, and I could even go through some pretty hefty Google Slides documents in Chrome without slowing the laptop to a halt. The big surprise and relief was that I was now able to work on my Intentional Tech website in VS Code using the exact same setup that I'm used to on my MacBook. Now, to be fair, I have used Claude Code quite a bit to build out the scaffolding of this website, but now it's at a stage where I can basically just update it myself by creating my own markdown files and dropping them onto my folder. I've been going through the back catalogue of all my videos and trying to rework the transcripts into written articles just to kind of give the website a bit of a history. Being able to do that on a fairly bare bones laptop setup has felt really good, and I've been able to churn out articles pretty quickly. I even managed to debug an issue using VS Code's inbuilt Copilot, which took a lot longer than it would do with like Claude Code on my Mac, but I was still pretty impressed that this laptop could handle that kind of a task. If you are switching to Linux for the first time, you'll definitely miss certain applications. For me, the biggest one was Bear, because I tend to write my markdown files in there so I can preview what it would look like in like rich HTML. So I switched over to Obsidian on Linux, and it was pretty much exactly the same thing. And you can always download an app called Local Send, which will allow you to essentially airdrop files between devices in your house. I just can't believe how much of a difference installing Linux has made to this laptop. I was even able to run Yakuza Kiwami at around 30 frames per second, which would have been unthinkable on the Windows installation. Now look, this still isn't a gaming laptop and it's never going to be pulling up trees in that department, but it is really cool to be able to run a game like that. And back to that emulation point, you can still play some pretty decent games on here. Now, it's no joke, the MacBook Neo is making it incredibly difficult to recommend a budget laptop these days. But I do think this is a solid enough laptop with a unique enough spread of features for the price. That all depends though on whether you're willing to install Linux. If that's you, I think this is a decent laptop for anyone who just wants to use it for basic productivity or maybe set up a simple dev environment to learn the basics of coding. Definitely a step up from something like a Chromebook for a high school kid or maybe a retiree who just needs a laptop to do odd jobs. The problem is whether those are the kinds of people that will go to the effort of installing Linux in the first place. So yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum, but at this point, I'm just thinking, will I ever run Windows again? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.